I'm only a third of the way through where I ought to be. I keep trying not to say the word should, but where I need to be or where I ought to be. So I have just about finished reading Rocky, so I'm 2 scripts into 6. I'm really behind. And every time I get so worried about the fact I'm really behind, I do my transcribing and I make sure that I do that. So I was even 4 days behind with that yesterday and caught up with that. But yeah, I have a really ridiculously hectic schedule at the moment, and I wasn't expecting it to be so bad or so full on when I said yes to doing the course. So in some ways the course is like this thing that I keep touching base with through the Facebook page and seeing where everyone's at and what they're doing, and I'm kind of feeling guilty that I'm not doing it. But I also know that once this show I'm in opens next week, and that kind of space in my head is kind of changed, then I can really just knuckle down and get it all caught up with in a matter of a few days, I'm hoping. It's a fortnight's rent for me. So I'm a single parent on a very low income. So to budget in to pay somebody a fortnight's rent is a lot of money. But I'm also an actor who occasionally gets really good gigs just now and then they fall out of the sky, and I've had a couple lately, and I keep thinking, I've put out those invoices, I'm getting all this money, I can just pay Corral off and I'll never have to do this course and it'll be fine. But I don't want to do that because I really want to do the course, as well as the fact I don't want to give you or your nominated charity 2 weeks rent. I don't want to do that. I really want to catch up, and that's why I know, even though it's really niggling at me in the back of my head, I will be able to catch up with it. Well, in my case, I'm doing 127 hours, and so it's taken nearly 30 pages for the clincher, the thing that happens at the beginning, and I've already been on this roller coaster ride with the character, and I'm noticing that the way the language is used in terms of even sentence length or the economy of the language in the big print really really kind of tells me how fast things are moving along. And I guess it's because I've directed films as well. It's hard for me to just read it cold, to not read it from the perspective of someone who's going to direct it, or I haven't seen it. See, that's also why I chose that one. The osmosis thing intrigues me, or the scriptorium. I think I'm learning more by doing that than I realise, and I will probably continue to do that just as a practice, like as a meditative practice, because there's a lot of other stuff in my life that already makes me feel overcommitted, but that's something that I think I can add in. I do think it's working. And I'm being stretched in a number of ways at the moment, like professionally and personally. I'm getting a lot of work that doesn't normally appear in Hobart as an actor, so you can't say no to that. But I think I'm actually opening myself up more as a creative artist. That might sound a bit wanky, and I'm not surprised that this is happening at the same time that I am doing this every day, So as I said, as hard as it is, I'll sit in a theatre with a torch and transcribe because I'm thinking, shit, I can't read. I need to be doing something else, but I will do this. At the bare minimum, I commit that I will do this every day. And I don't think that the 2 or 3 different things are unrelated. I don't think that I'm getting more work is not unrelated to the fact I'm doing this. Do you know what I mean? That sounds a bit out there, but the more I am open to this, the more all these great things are happening, I guess, in terms of my creativity and my work and my networking, my interactions.